Hello, everybody, and welcome into a Friday edition of the Computer America Show. My co-host Charles Tindall is late, and I don't know. Ben is trying to make it back in time, but we have a great show planned for you tonight, and we'll be starting momentarily in about 30 seconds. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We'll be starting our Friday edition of Computer America with Thalmic Labs.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Broadcasting live, it's America's longest-running national radio talk show on computers, Computer America, hosted by national columnist Craig Crossman. Look for Craig's weekly column in your favorite newspaper. This show is being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. Keep it here for technology news, computer products, guest interviews, and your phone calls. You're listening to Computer America.
Hello, and welcome into the Computer America Show. It's the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. Computer America is heard around the world and coast to coast. And I'm your host, Craig Crossman. Charles Tindall is not here. I got a text message from him, and I don't know exactly when, on my iPhone, and because I didn't have my iPhone turned on at the time. I mean, was not looking at it. And he said that he, at 9:13 now, when he sent the message. So there you go. I also talked to Ben, and Ben is not at the nearby, but he said he will be heading back. So it's either going to be Charles or Ben, here tonight co-hosting with me on the show. But, hey, it's live broadcasting, and this is what happens. So it is Friday. Yes, it is. We made it to Friday again. We sort of made it. We're sort of here. We're limping along. Having some technology issues as time to have. We bring people in to make things more helpful, and the only person you can rely on is yourself. I think that's if you want it done right, you have to do it yourself. As I said, we're going to have our show reminder winner of the week. Oh, yes, that's another thing. We'll be announcing that in hour 2, and of course, we'll have computer technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. So as I said, we have a great show planned for you, and we'll get started right now. Now, our guest tonight is from a company called Thalmic Labs, and they've created something very, very interesting. It's called the MYO Armband, and it lets you use the electrical activity in your muscles to wirelessly control your computer, phone, and other favorite digital technologies. Now, here's the interesting. I mean, there have been other devices not like the MYO, but for example, Leap technology comes to mind, where it was like this little sensor, little tiny thing you would put in front of your screen, and you can wave your hands and move. And at first, it looked really, really cool. I know Charles got one, a couple people got one, and it was fun at first, but it just didn't work out well. And I don't know how well it's selling now, but there were a lot of problems with it. And I'm not saying that all devices like that are bad. I mean there are some really good ones out there, and I think tonight we're going to have this one looks very promising, and we're going to be talking about it. Now, if you're watching our live Computer America video streaming page, you're going to see an actual demonstration of this device as well. Joining us is Chris Gooding. Now, Chris is a developer evangelist at Thalmic Labs. Hey, Chris, welcome into Computer America. How are you? How are you doing?
Hey, Craig. I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Now, okay. Oh, I just realized now, I need to actually send him a link to the room so he can come in and join us. Anyway, and I'm sure you've heard this. I mean, are you familiar with that Leap thing that was a little thing you put in front of your computer screen, and you could wave your hands, and it would the it would respond to your motions. Are you familiar with that one?
Yeah, absolutely. So Leap is actually like a very early pioneer in the concept of gesture input into your computing devices. They promised a very, very interesting technology. The overall concept was that traditional input methods, such as your mouse and keyboard, may not be the most ideal solution for certain applications. In many ways, using your hands might be a more a more accurate, maybe a more natural way of interacting with your computing devices. So they did offer a lot of promise, and to this day, maybe they had a hard start, but they've recently released a new version of their SDK that promises greater accuracy. And yeah, I have a lot of hope for the company, actually. I believe the whole concept of gesture control is very exciting.
Yeah, I agree with you. By the way, my co-host Ben is here with us. He just joined us.
Hi.
Hi. Now, Ben, thanks for covering, because it was like 9:15, and Charles texted me, and I didn't have my phone. I mean, I didn't look at my phone. I didn't have it with me, and so I had no way of knowing. He said he was going to be late, and usually when he's going to be 15 minutes late, that means he's not going to make the show. So there we are. All right. So anyhow, what we're going to do is, I don't know if you had a chance to look at that, check this out, Ben, but this is a very cool technology. And it's called the MYO Armband, and I think you can get the website from the calendar, so you can actually see this thing. So before we get into the actual device, Chris, let me ask you, what inspired you to? I mean, because we live in a world of mice and joysticks.
I don't know about joysticks anymore, but definitely mice and just like physical input devices.
Physical. Yeah. What made you decide to develop something like the MYO?
Well, to be honest, like we can see sort of the progression of input technology, and if we look to examples in sci-fi, for example, Minority Report, we can see that natural gestural input is actually a really exciting and promising field. So in the early stages, really we wanted to sort of follow suit with the trends of computing. So computers originally were very rigid, solid mainframes you would have to sit in front of and then work on. Eventually they progressed into a more mobile state, the laptop computer, and now they've gone even further into the smartphone category, and now sort of the wearable category, where Google Glass. So as a company, and as just like an innovative thinking body, we started to see the trends of this computing technology, and we started to ask very critical questions about how exactly is one going to input into these future technologies. If you have a computer on your face, for example, what is the best form of input? And we started to realize that voice input, or touching the side of your face in the arm of the glasses, it may not be the most practical solution. So we started to think of different ways. And just in sort of looking around, looking at the people outside, and seeing how people interact with their everyday objects, we saw that your hands were a very important piece in terms of input. And it was only once we started to explore the various technologies that were available to us today that we started to consider muscle activity. So at the heart of all gestures and movements are muscle activations. And understanding muscle activity is actually a very well-known, or technologies exist today that give you the access to that you can actually understand muscle activity.
Well, yeah. Now I'm trying to think. You say that it's a muscle. Obviously, I mean, if a muscle expands or contracts, I mean, is that being used in the? Oh, okay. Charles is here. Hey, Charles. He made it to the show. So
would it is this something? I know we haven't gotten to the device itself yet, but I mean, muscle contractions. I mean, is the technology here today where it's good enough to differentiate, between, certain kind of muscles, or is it just like, you need something a little bit more obvious, like finger control or something like that?
Well, yes. I mean, to be honest, the technology today does exist to actually look into your muscles. So electromyography, it's actually a very old technology. You would see that in the little circular electrodes that a surgeon or a doctor would place on your chest to monitor your heart activity. Basically, when your muscles contract, they do so because your brain sends electrical signals to those muscles. And those electrical signals actually propagate to the surface of your skin and can be detected through normal current sensors. So that's the whole concept behind electromyography. So any sort of muscle activation can be detected through these small electrical currents. So as we explore this fact, we can start to realize that if you have enough of these sensors placed along the surface of your skin, you can start to detect patterns in this activity, and then translate those patterns into an understanding of what is actually happening with your hands.
So this is being primarily used in the medical field. In other words, where they're reading muscle signals and contractions.
Well, it sounds like the medical field has really done a lot of your research for you in in this kind of technology.
They have. They absolutely have. So electromyography it initially did start in the medical industry. Understanding your muscle activity. You would see it also in kinesiology labs. This sort of thing has been around for a while. It's been one of the primary technologies used to understand different muscles in your body. So yeah, we really were inspired by this. We sort of took existing research and just applied it in new ways. I mean, the sensors that we are using are fairly different than the ones used in the medical industry. The ones used in medical settings generally require the user to shave their skin and to apply a conductive gel. So we've actually built out proprietary sensors that don't actually need the user to shave their arm or apply any sort of gel to read the electrical activity. So that's how sort of we added on top of the innovations that were done previously.
Well, that's a good selling point. No gel, no shaving. That's I'm glad you solved that one before you actually started selling to the market.
Yeah, imagine a product where you had to shave your arms just to use it.
I'm sure if Google put it out, people would still jump through hoops to get it.
Maybe so.
Well, now, so now we understand your reasoning behind why you wanted to take this technology and bring it to the personal computer. What kind of hurdles did you have to, get over to make something like this device work?
Oh, I would say probably one of our biggest hurdles and a problem that we're facing today is just the fundamental technology itself, having the ability to understand the gestures based on this EMG. So it's actually a very complicated process. It's one thing to perfect the hardware to the point where you can actually detect these electrical signals on the various user profiles. A user will have varying degrees of fat content, of arm hair, of muscle mass. All these different physiology differences in their physiology make it a great challenge for a hardware company to build a sensor that works with everyone. And so after we overcame that hurdle, we then had to take these signals and start to understand the actual motions of your hand based on them. And that required a very complicated machine learning algorithm that basically takes the various patterns across the 8 channels of the device and maps them into known characters and patterns, which we then use to classify the various hand gestures. So it's a problem that we saw right from the beginning, and to this day we're continuing to invest resources in and innovate towards.
Right. Now,
one cool question, because I mean, you're saying that you could, kind of put the different muscle movements into general categories. I mean, what muscles are you actually flexing? Is it all just hand gestures, but like the control unit isn't actually on your hand, like it's
no, and and that's what we're going to show. Okay,
Okay.
we're going to actually demonstrate that. Hey, Charles, I know you're muted, but you want to come in and join us? But well, go ahead.
Not really. Not really.
No?
I'm enjoying it. I mean, I was trying to discreetly figure out, what we were talking about, and so far it sounds like these electrodes controlling your body, and like Skynet is all I can think of. So.
If you turn your aim on, I'll actually send you a link to the website. Oh, I see you have that. Here is the website, so you can look at it for yourself, and you can see, because it actually goes over your forearm. Okay, it's just before your elbow. Yeah, you see how that is, and it actually goes over the forearm portion, and this is reading all kinds. There's a picture. Show him. You can see it.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I reached out to you guys some time ago about this product.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I was trying to get you on the show. Yeah, because I remember the AR drone and the guy using it to shoot his television. I thought that was really cool. I was like, oh man, interactive gaming, and I don't remember what happened. I forwarded it over to Carissa because I'm happy that you guys are here. That's cool.
We're here. We're finally here.
Yeah.
So
been a long time since.
Yes. So okay, so let's talk a little bit. So the MYO Armband. One of the things, obviously, that comes to when you first look at this is that it's cordless. So this is a cordless device.
Right.
It's cordless, so you don't. There's no physical connection, which basically means you can stand up. You can be away. You can be looking at your computer's monitor. You can be staying there. And now, can you actually use it to, let's say, fire a gun? Let's say.
I'm trying to figure out still what all of these things still work with. Like, is there an app that I need to install on my phone? Like, I know with the the other one, the Leap Motion thing, you had to have all these different things installed to use it. I saw your demo. The guy was playing a video game. It's like, how does that work? Like, how do I get it to integrate with my devices?
Right. Okay, so there was a lot of questions presented there. I'll do my best to answer all of them.
So wait, the other one is I need the square root of 365,000.
Well, hold on. Let me bust up my calculator here.
The winning lottery numbers,
Yeah. Okay, so first of all, here's the device itself. You can see it's a flexible, elastic material. If I sort of bend it inwards like that, you can see that it has 8 EMG sensors in the device itself.
Look at that. Yeah.
So these EMG sensors are exactly, as I said before, the sensors you would see in those circular electrodes. But we've designed these in-house, and they work with various differences in physiology. So they are in this elastic material. The electrical components that connect those individual sensors are actually in the rubber itself, and that gives it this very kind of sleek industrial design. In the main pod as well, there's a 9-axis inertial measuring unit, and that's just a fancy word for a sensor that combines an accelerometer, a gyroscope, and a magnetometer, and it does a sensor fusion of those 3 sensors to understand orientation of the device. So we use that sensor to understand your forearm movement. So using the EMG sensors, we can understand what you're doing with your hands as you perform various gestures. And using the 9-axis IMU, we understand how the device changes in orientation. So we ultimately understand how you move your arm. And this works with a lot of platforms. It works with a lot of things. So right out of the gate, we just publicly released our SDK, and it works today publicly with Windows and Mac, and in the next few weeks we'll release an iOS and Android SDK, and basically developers will be able to take existing applications and just plug in this support. They'll be able to use the SDK and build out their own integrations with this armband. So to answer your question, Charles, if you had a video game that, say, you wanted to shoot as a first-person shooter, or say you have a sword and it's a sword fighting game, if you had an existing game in Android that used a touch, the developer would be able to easily start controlling that game using the MYO Armband, using the SDK that we provide them. And we give out sample documentation, sample applications, everything they would need to get started with that.
Now, I've watched some of the demonstration videos of you with this device and actually playing a game. You know, and basically, it looked like he was like pulling a trigger of a gun, so it would rapid fire, and it was reading the muscles in the arm, so it knows, oh, he's pulling a trigger.
Yeah.
It's very selective. You can get some very selective actions with this by what you're doing with your hand, your fists, and opening and closing of your hand, that type of thing.
Absolutely. Yep, exactly. So right now, today, the device will recognize when a user makes a fist, when they spread their fingers, when they move their hand to the left and right, and when they tap their thumb to their finger.
Really?
So the user.
That's selective. You can, when you tap your thumb to finger, you can read that as well.
Yes.
That is very cool. I mean, that's extremely selective, and it gets it all just from the little wristband that's around your forearm.
Yes, correct. And then the nice thing is that the user or the developer can use these triggers and combine them with motions. So, for example, if I had like a virtual thermostat, I can grab the thermostat and rotate the knob, and that rotation would also be detected, and the fact that I'm grabbing that fist would be detected. So you'd essentially be able to turn the knob. Or I'd be able to grab an object in space and move it around and then let go of it. And that would be basically like picking up and dropping.
So Ben, yeah. Ben, you're the gamer here, obviously. I mean, so I would think something like this would give you an extreme amount of control, more though than you can get with a mouse and a keyboard.
I mean, I don't know if our guest has ever heard of the gaming glove or gaming gauntlet or what have you, and it used to be a kind of like a macro key system, and you put it on, and depending on where your thumb and you press together, it would press different macros, and it sounds
yes, I have heard that.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I have heard that.
It sounds exactly like that technology, but I mean, but the way that you're describing goes a little bit, even further than that, which is, motion control and that kind of thing, which begs the question, Oculus Rift.
It does. It absolutely does.
Isn't it owned by Facebook?
Yes.
Right.
No, stay away from Facebook.
It's owned by Facebook, so that means that this device, if it works with Oculus Rift, that means the first gesture it has to learn is the thumbs up. There you go.
Honestly, Ben, you bring up a great point. So within virtual reality, that's actually one of our most that's a space that we're most excited about. So the Oculus Rift promises the user the ability to enter in a virtual world of their choosing. They can choose whatever role they want. They can choose whatever setting, and they can go in it. They can, fly as a bird if they wanted to. And basically, once you're in the space, like it's completely immersive. You have the ability to look left and right, up and down, and the image that you see actually updates depending on your movement. So it actually takes you in here, and you actually feel like you're actually engaged. But one of the interesting things is the one thing that most users do in some of the videos that you see is they naturally want to like reach out and like grab something, right? Like they're like, oh, what's that, right? So the cool thing is that the MYO Armband actually lets you do that. You can actually have your arms in a virtual reality game, and we've built out application demos that do just this. We actually have the ability of using two armbands at the exact same time, so you can have both hands in the game or in the environment, and you can manipulate or grab objects within that space. It's incredible. It's such an exciting thing for you to be in this fantasy world and have your hands in there as well and be able to interact with the objects as you would in the real world.
Now, you mentioned hands, and that was my next question. You're wearing one band for one arm. Can you have two bands for both arms?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So you can have a left and right, and then obviously the people who write, I mean, does it? So if you're using your right hand or your left hand, so you can actually coincide with that.
Absolutely. So
you're a virtual ninja.
Yeah. Yeah, so our SDK gives that support directly to the developer. They, as soon as the developer or the user puts on the band and does the configuration gesture, the SDK automatically knows it's on your right arm, and the developer can then use that information for whatever they like in their game or in their application. And you can have both at the exact same time. You can potentially grab two objects and manipulate them with both hands. You can be the ninja. You could have two swords. You can do whatever you like with your two hands.
That is extremely cool. So now we're talking obviously for the entertainment arena here, and we're talking about all these games. And I have some more questions about that. But have you given any thoughts for the MYO being used for other applications? And if so, what would those be?
Oh yes, absolutely. So gaming is a very obvious one because thanks to the Leap Motion and the Oculus Rift, the gaming space is really starting to explode with these various technologies. But really, there's a number of different spaces that we can play in. We've actually built the platform to be wide open. Any application or anything that the developer can think of can potentially be built using this thing. So some great ideas. If you're thinking sort of in a business setting, this would be a great tool to control a PowerPoint presentation, to annotate your slides. If you're thinking you're sitting at home, this device has the ability to control your cursor. So if you have, the next season of Game of Thrones on your computer, you can use the cursor.
You can use the cursor to. Oops, I think we lost them.
See, play, pause, fast forward, that sort of thing. All with the MYO Armband. Yeah,
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, you can then expand well beyond that. If you look to the medical industry, this is a great integration with imaging applications and software. So a surgeon, after they've been scrubbed in today's world, they rely on another nurse or a technician within the operating room to handle the imagery on the computer. And update that information so that they know what to work with the patient. Today, using the armband, you could easily, while being in your scrubbed-in state, control that imagery while you're working on the patient, and you would require one less person to control that specifically. Maybe they can help with the patient themselves.
Now, in that scenario, would that be helpful? I mean, because he's controlling it, or you don't want to really distract the person who's cutting into you. You have to.
Well, I mean, you kind of said it yourself at the very beginning. You can only really trust yourself in some situations, right? You only know it's been done. You can only rely on yourself, right? So in some cases, if the surgeon wants something done, rather than having to communicate that to the technician or nurse and having them try to understand what they're doing, what they want, they can just grab that image, rotate it the way that they want, and then let go, and then continue with their procedure without having to do anything. So it gives them the control.
All right. And obviously, you want the surgeon who's in control. And but
see, I was thinking that you wouldn't want the armband slipping down your arm and you losing the patient. I mean, and I'm sorry if this is a stupid question, but I mean, how hard is this thing to to shake off? Because I mean, if you're controlling something.
It looks like it's really secure, but okay, how secure?
Yeah, I mean, the way we've designed it is sort of like a one-size-fits-all. It's fairly elastic, and it fits on the thickest part of your forearm. In the testings we've had before, it would take quite a bit for the user to kind of shake this off. In an extreme case of someone like whipping their arm like this, you see that it really doesn't shake off.
It looks like it looks like it's really got a good grip on your forearm, yet still not cutting circulation.
Oh yeah, still got circulation.
Now again, if you're listening to the show, you can actually see this because we are on our live Computer America video streaming page is up and running, and you can watch all this. And by the way, the video streaming page is brought to you by Otherworld Computing. Quality products, expert support since 1988. Visit them at www.maxsales.com, and through the courtesy of our live video streaming, you can actually see this product and how it looks. and this gives you another perspective to it. Now, also, you can go to our show notes page at computeramerica.com. You'll see tonight's show, the 15th of August, and it will you'll see a link there to the website, to the Thalmic Labs website, and you can see this for yourself as well.
Actually, watching him do that gesture, I suddenly have an idea for an app. Not an app,
Okay.
but for an application for this.
Okay, what was it?
A fitness game, like the video game, right?
Oh,
You get, it detects like the punches and the moves and the kicks and everything else, and you get points for them.
Yeah.
that would be
That'd
cool.
be a million times better than the pedometer.
We're at the bottom of the hour, and we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back. You listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, on the IRN Radio Network. Thalmic Labs is here this hour. Chris Gooding is here with us talking about the MYO Armband. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hey everyone, have you heard about the No hair removal device that's sweeping the globe? If you want to go weeks without shaving and get smooth, professional quality results, here's our favorite host, Cheryl, for No hair removal.
Thanks. Hey gals, I love talking about my No. It's this cute little hair removal system that you can take with you and use almost anywhere at home or on the road. No more expensive waxing and no more wasting your valuable time. Got unwanted facial hair? No has patented Thermicon technology that works on all hair and skin colors, so it's perfect for using on all body parts. And now you can take advantage of this incredible risk-free trial. Get the No, the facial kit, a travel case, and a $100 discount shopping card, and you don't risk a penny to try it. Try the incredible No hair completely risk-free. Call 1-800-953-5415. That's 800-953-5415. 800-953-5415.
Looking for a best friend? Brother Wolf Animal Rescue has your best friend waiting just for you. Their mission is to protect and enhance the lives of companion animals and the people who love them. Their no-kill rescue shelter is open year-round, making it easy for people to adopt their best new friend. This year, Brother Wolf will find homes for over 2,400 orphan dogs, puppies, cats, and kittens. All have ended up as an orphan through no fault of their own. Brother Wolf has created a safe, nurturing environment where these special animals can heal emotionally and physically until they find a lifelong home. Their life-saving transport program brings dogs and puppies from overcrowded shelters in the south to rescues in the north where homes are easier to find. Brother Wolf Animal Rescue is a 501c3 organization. To learn more about their life-saving work and to make a donation, visit their website at www.bwar.org. That's www.bwar.org. Help to realize Brother Wolf's vision when no animal is euthanized for lack of a home.
Who's a good boy?
You're going to like this one. This is Marty Winston for Computer America with a News Tips Bulletin Review of Thalmic Charge. Now, a box of chiclets is bigger than a Thalmic Charge, at least at first. It has a flat front and back and rounded edges, so this gizmo looks unassuming, but its DNA is part transformer. At the bottom on the back is a little square that says push, and when you do, an upward-facing micro USB port steps forward, just begging to go into your handset's charging port. You can charge it from USB with a tucked-in saluting hand connector on a cable that's stowed in the top right, but there's an even cooler trick on hand. The back has some AC prongs you flip down. They never quite reach a right angle, so you get a spiffy slanted easel. You have a complete 1-amp USB charger that's a small and slim, so small and slim, you'll always have room in whatever you're carrying to slide it inside. Bottom line, Thalmic Charge takes the concept of a wall-wart charger and knocks it flat. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Oh, I forgot that I had that button there. And I was chewing on my chips, which is horrible. Just wonderful time. Anyway, welcome back to the Computer America Show, 33 minutes after the hour. In the first hour, we're talking to, according to his bubble here, Chris. Is that right?
That's right.
And Chris, I'm watching you here with all your high-speed tech. On one arm, you got your product, the band here, that is absolutely intriguing. On the other, it looks like you've got an Android Wear. Is it the Gear Live?
That's what it is. Yeah.
Man, you got to be like the Bionic Man walking around your office. Like I know everything about everyone.
I'm addicted to this thing, to be honest. Like at first, I just got it because it looked attractive, and I thought I could find a use case for it. Turns out my favorite use case right now is while driving. I can call, or I can basically say, "Okay, Google," and have it call anyone from this, and then it will take the phone calls from my phone onto the Bluetooth radio, the Bluetooth streaming on my car. And that works flawlessly. Like the current solution in the car itself, the menu system, it's a pain in the butt to get through the contacts and to call the right person, and it takes forever. So I found that to be like a really neat one, as well as navigation. You have the turn-by-turns right here, so it's pretty easy to just kind of like glance at your watch when you're approaching a turn to know you're in the right spot. So
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I mean, like I've got Google Glass, and it very quickly outlived its usefulness, and it wasn't ready for what it was. And I keep.
That's with Leap. You had the Leap too, and that you had that for a few days, and then you didn't like that either.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, it's because you have to plug it in, and now you're tethered to your machine. If you want to use that kind of technology, you have to be plugged physically into it. And with what Chris has got on his arm there, it's like as long as the system has an app or has an interface on it, I can do anything. So like, I mean, just imagine the day when it comes up where you can just walk into a room, flick your wrist, the TV comes on, the lights come on, you name it, it's all there. But then like right before the break, I was talking about the having like a workout one where you have one on one arm and the other on the other arm, and it just like you could tie bow it all out, and you would see it.
Well, what about lifting weights? But you could lift a 300-pound weight, but it wouldn't have any.
Well, no, on the app you dial in your reps, right? You dial in your weight, and then it says now you've got to hit this rep, and it's just like it notices, and each time it goes up, you get like a ding, ding, ding.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, you got like a virtual coach who's like, "You're almost there. Keep going."
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, by the way, because we were saying it on the air and it is archived in Google, it is my intellectual property, so it's mine. And I get 50%. Just saying.
Okay, that's it, eh? You go with the whole 100%?
No, because somebody else has got to build it. I just want 50%.
Okay.
Now, Chris, let me ask you this: what do you think is going to be the first application people are going to be realistically using the MYO Armband for?
Absolutely.
I mean, I see some applications, but what do you think is is this going to be a toe in the water thing? Is this going to be a start? Are you going to where do you see this starting out?
Yeah, honestly, the applications that we are delivering when the consumer versions ship in the fall are what we consider sort of like the 10-foot large display experience. That's kind of what we're classifying this category of application, and it's what we covered before. So a business PowerPoint presentation. Basically, when you run the SDK today, you can, if you download the SDK, it's on our website, and you download what we call MYO Connect. Basically, this application runs in the background. It runs in your taskbar, and it handles the communication to the armband itself. But the really interesting thing about this application is that it detects what you have running in your foreground. So right now we have Google Hangouts running. But if I were to minimize this screen and open up Keynote, because I'm on a Mac, or PowerPoint if I'm on a Windows PC, it would automatically understand that, hey, you just opened up PowerPoint, and oh, PowerPoint has a profile, a MYO profile, or that works with the MYO Armband. So as soon as you open up PowerPoint, MYO Connect in the background will automatically load that gesture profile, and the user will right there and then will be able to start controlling their slides or draw an annotation on their slides. So that allows them to do PowerPoint, Keynote. We also have media integrations, so controlling your iTunes on your PC, controlling VLC, controlling Netflix, as well as cursor control. So the whole experience where you're sitting on your couch and your computer's in front of you, it's plugged in through HDMI into your TV. The whole experience of bringing your keyboard and mouse into bed isn't the best one. So with the MYO armband, the second it ships, you'll be able to use the band to control the cursor, select that file, play it on VLC, and then have media controls like your remote in the middle of the playback. Sure. So out of the gate, those will be applications that today we know there is some demand for. The current solutions for switching through PowerPoint presentations or bringing your keyboard and mouse into bed just aren't ideal. And we can tell you firsthand that from our user testing that users do appreciate having this control and functionality seamlessly with an armband. They can tuck that underneath their shirt. It's low profile. It works well. So that will be out of the gate, the applications that I think most people will start to use right away. Going forward, you'll start to see things like music control when you're driving. So if you happen to be in an older vehicle that uses the auxiliary port and you don't have your controls in your steering wheel, you'll be able to use gestures while you're driving to hands-free control your music from your phone. The same thing goes if you're running or biking. You'll be able to control music playing out of your iPod. A neat one that I really like, being here in Canada, I snowboard very often and I play music, and the worst thing for me is taking off my gloves and pulling my phone out and changing the track. My hands freeze and it's a really crappy experience. So having the ability to wear this armband underneath my snow jacket and being able to control my tracks without doing anything is a real bonus, and I plan to use that one often.
Well, let me ask you this now. One of the things is it's a cordless technology. What are you using? Is it Bluetooth? Is it something proprietary? How are you communicating with the computer with the MYO armband?
Yep, it's you said it. It's Bluetooth 4.0 low energy.
Really?
So, yep, and that will pair directly with an Android device that has Bluetooth low energy capabilities, as well as the iPhone that has similar capabilities. And then for PCs, the device ships with a small dongle. I can actually take it out.
Yeah.
This is an early version of it. The one that ships will be, the industrial design will be a lot nicer. It'll have the nice Thalmic blue, and it'll look a lot slicker. But it's the smaller form factor. It's very tiny. When you put that in, you see is a little nub really sticking out. Yep, exactly. So with this, you can plug this into any PC and give it Bluetooth 4.0 capabilities. So by plugging that into the USB port, the drivers will automatically load, and you'll be able to control your computer with the armband just by having that plugged in. So that
is very, very, very interesting. So you think now? So when this ships, is it going to be under your? It's going to be under your label, in other words, or are you going to give this to, and it's going to be OEM'd by another company or other companies, or is it going to be your product? And if it's your product, do you foresee which particular applications you're going to have shipping with it?
Yes. So number one, yes, like we plan to kind of control the manufacturing of this product, the manufacturing, the innovation, everything. Mm-hmm. What we have right now in terms of distribution, we're selling it through our website on Thalmic.com. You can pre-order it there. But as soon as we move beyond our pre-orders, we'll start to explore different retail options. So those will be launched and released most likely later in the fall. So that handles the distribution piece. But in terms of the applications that will be shipped with it, as I said before, we are controlling some of the applications. For example, PowerPoint, Keynote, VLC, Netflix, iTunes. All these applications will be available day one, and they're built by us. But we've also grown out our developer community. Since December of 2013, we opened up an early access developer program, and we started to ship not this hardware, but an earlier version of the hardware. It was a little bit more bulky, but it still had the exact same functionality. And we shipped those out to early developers who are interested in building out fitness apps or any sort of app. So that community has continued to grow, and in its peak we had over 10,000 applicants into this program. We weren't able to bring in every one of them, but now that we're shipping these developer kits, that scale of community is going to start to build applications for the MYO Armband. So those, obviously, we're hoping to bring more and more applications and developers into the program so that day one when consumers launch, they'll have even more utility. And the fact that it's built as an open platform with a public SDK, it means that a user who buys it and will get their device sometime in the fall, they'll be able to do all these things which we provide, but over time they'll have more and more utility as developers continue to release applications that work with this device.
Now, obviously, there's always a prototype and everything. You mentioned the version that you sent out was a little bit bigger, so that was still in the prototype phase. The one that we're looking at now that you're holding up to the screen, is that the actual final version? Because that it looks very slim. Is that the actual final version?
This is the final version. Right now, we're shipping out this final version to developers. But consumers, if they pre-order today, will get this device that they have that I have in my hand here.
Yeah, and it looks really sick. Now let me just ask you, hold it back up to the screen again. Now you have different. How many are there? And one of them has a little bar on the outside. What is?
Yeah, I'll show you this one so you can see kind of the central pod. Okay. So it kind of glows with the Thalmic logo. So what you see right there, each one of those is medical grade stainless steel EMG sensors. And this.
Whoops, we lost them again. So those are the medical grade sensors, and what was the other one? No, I think we've lost them.
That's a pretty awesome picture, though.
Yeah, oh, there he is. Okay, we lost you for a second. Go ahead again. Repeat again. Chris, are you there?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. So I'm not sure where exactly I was cut off, but basically what you're seeing right here is in each one of those pods, there's 8 of them in total. These are medical grade stainless steel EMG sensors that we built in-house. So these sensors have the ability to detect the electrical activity in your muscles, and we basically understand the patterns across the 8 channels to translate that.
They're communicating with each other, so they kind of share the information to provide a final signal. What does the developer get? Do they get X, Y, and Z axis? What kind of information are they getting?
Yeah, so the developer, we do a lot of the heavy lifting for the developer. So the developer doesn't have to look at these individual channels and then try to figure out exactly what's happening with the muscles and then try to figure out what's happening with the muscle or with the hand. We basically, given the patterns that we see, we do the signal processing and analysis on the device itself, and the device will simply output the pose that's detected. So it will tell you that right now in this state, the hand is at rest. Right now in this state, the hand is making a fist. The fingers are spread. The hand is waving out. So we are able to detect that. So the developer simply has to look for that trigger. If they want to do a grab and then drop, they would look for a fist.
Okay.
Another thing that we output.
Chris, I've just had an awesome idea. The way you've got it set up so that you wear it is you wear it on your forearm, right? But what happens if you go higher than that? Or is it just meant to be on the forearm?
It's meant to be on the forearm. So our algorithms are built to understand forearm activity. So if you're looking at your hand, when you do various things with your fingers, make various poses, all of that hand activity translates to your forearm. If you go any higher,
right? No, if you go any higher, you don't get the muscle translation. But what does it? It's kind of the which came first, the chicken or the egg kind of question. But couldn't this be used to like control like a prosthetic hand?
Yes.
Like if they're still moving the muscles, they're still making the commands to do it. MYO actually detects it and moves the hand accordingly.
I mean, that is a fantastic application. We have yet to do extensive testing in the field, but we've actually started to work with third-party developers who want to tackle this problem specifically. So theoretically, if a user has, like, for example, if the user has their wrist amputated, however, they have similar forearm muscle activity as someone who has their hand still, theoretically, the armband will be able to detect the muscle activity, understand what the user's intentions are in their muscle activations, and theoretically be able to control his prosthetic.
Wow.
So this
Amazing, yeah.
So it is completely possible, and so on top of the standard SDK that we released to developers, we've also created a research SDK, and that is given out to select research bodies or commercial partners that are interested in diving a lot deeper in these applications. So they really want an in-depth understanding of the muscle activity. So we offer that SDK to these select partners so that we can explore areas like this.
Really, yeah.
Wow.
Obviously it's going to be several years down the road, but certainly we can see how it's leading to something like that. So if someone's had their hand amputated, putting a prosthetic on that would be motivated by your brain's control of opening and closing. I mean, those muscles are obviously still there. Then you can get it so it's opening, closing, and touching fingers, and how hard you're pulling, so the strength of it would all be controlled by your mind. You literally just how you would normally operate your hand, you would be able to do the same thing with a prosthetic device. That's
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Still a little way down the road, I'm sure, but
Absolutely.
You have to begin somewhere, and certainly something like is definitely the case.
Absolutely.
Now, and I noticed again, you said that the little blue thing actually glows. So now, what kind of battery? How long does it's rechargeable? I'm assuming. So how long of use do you get, and how long does it take to recharge?
Yeah. So if I were to wear this thing all day and basically cycle through my tracks all day, full usage, I would get 2 days, 48 hours.
Okay.
So that's what we expect to receive, but we've also built in a sleep function. So most users, when they first get their device, likely will have this at their bedside table, and when they want to play their movie, they'll slip it on, or when they want to do a PowerPoint presentation in the office, they'll pick it up and slip it on. So when it's in a rest state, so sitting on a table or whatever, the device will actually turn off after a period of time, and it will hold its charge for quite a few days. I don't know the exact number, but it's very large. So theoretically, if a user is using this occasionally, they will be able to maintain the single charge for a very long time, much longer than 2 days.
Now, does it go into a charger, or how do you actually charge it up?
Yep. So it'll be difficult for you to see, but right below here, I have this little latch, and I pulled this thing down. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but right there is a micro USB. So the device ships with a micro USB cable. You can also use any sort of cell phone micro USB, and you'd be able to plug in the device to charge it that way, and it should charge within a few hours.
Okay. Is it using lithium-ion batteries? Is that what you have in there?
Yep, that's correct. There are 2 lithium-ion batteries in these 2 pods.
Okay. So those 2 pods have the batteries. The one that lights up, is that where the brain is? Is that where the intelligence is?
That's right. So the logic board is in here. The Bluetooth radio is in here. So where the EMG sensors are analyzed is in here, and obviously the LEDs and everything are in here. So the center pod is sort of your brain of the device. Okay.
So what kind of cost? What do you think this is going to the suggested retail price for the MYO when it comes to market? What you have any ideas of what price range it's going to be?
Yep. So today, a user or a consumer can pre-order this for $149 US off our website. Once we explore more traditional retail outlets, it will retail for $199.
Okay. Well, it's certainly priced. It's affordable. I mean, especially if you can use it. But I mean, people who are gamers are passionate. That's nothing compared to what they'll spend on a great keyboard. I mean, a good gaming keyboard will cost at least $200, if not more. Or a gaming mouse.
Absolutely.
So you're in that price range as well. So they can go to your website and pre-order. What's the story with that?
Yep, so we actually launched our pre-order campaign just over a year ago. The video that you've likely seen from our website, that was our initial sort of launch. It basically showed the capabilities of the MYO Armband, and anyone who is interested could pre-order the device right now, help fund the initiative, and eventually get their device in their hands. So we've just started shipping those pre-orders that we received over a year ago, and we're continuing to do so through the fall. So today, a user will still be able to go onto our website and pre-order it. The only difference between a pre-order and a regular order is that the time to delivery is a little bit longer than a traditional website order. So if a user were to order a developer kit from our website, you would expect to receive it in 6 to 8 weeks. If you were to order a consumer version, it would be later in the fall. Starting in September, we start to ship consumer ones.
Okay. Well, Charles, do you have any other questions? I think we've got everything pretty much covered.
Well, if I want to get in on some development stuff, how would I go about that, or is the developer kind of call for developers kind of over?
No, it's still open. So right on Thalmic.com, you'll see it.
Whoops. I assume he's saying on his website there's a separate section there for developers who can apply for that. Yeah, I think that's what he was saying. And
sorry, I'm back now. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So to answer your question, right on Thalmic.com, there's a link to the developer portal. So that will take you to developer.thalmic.com, and from there you can download the SDK today. It's publicly available. You don't need to pay for anything to get this SDK. Otherwise, if you want to get an armband to develop with, you can today go to our pre-order site, and rather than pre-ordering the final consumer MYO, you would pre-order the MYO developer kit. Okay. So those will ship out first. Those ship to the developers who want to work with this device.
Right. Exactly.
And when are you planning on shipping?
So we started shipping actually a few weeks ago, and we're going to continue to ship to developers over the next 6 to 8 weeks. And then as soon as we are finished shipping to developers, we'll start shipping to consumers. Yeah, our production will just continue to ramp up from there.
All right, Chris. Well, listen, it's a fascinating product, and we all wish you the best of luck with it. And it looks very cool. And again, you can check it out at Thalmic Labs' website at thalmic.com, or you can go to our website at computeramerica.com. We have the link right there under our show notes. Chris, thanks again for being with us here on the Computer America Show. Very interesting, and keep in touch with us. Let us know how things go. Okay.
Thank you very much, Greg and Charles.
All right, take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye now.
Bye-bye. All right, there you go. Again, Thalmic Labs, THALMIC labs.com, and they will be able to tell you all about it, and you can see it on their website, and basically order it for yourself. Okay. All right, Charles. So I know this is your last show with us as my daily co-host.
Yep.
And I know we've picked out some computer news stories that we're going to be looking.
Yep, I'm looking for the tab that I have them all stored on.
You did? Oh, okay.
I had them all stored, but now it's missing. So.
Okay. Well, some of the stories, big fixes are coming to Windows as soon as next month. I mean, there's some interesting stories here that you've got that we're going to be talking.
Something about a NASA spy satellite detecting
Yeah.
black hole bending light. There's even this thing about a zonkey. I'm not even sure where that's coming from, but it's going to be entertaining.
And also something, a robot Romeo charms women. Okay, so
it's kind of like Robot Rock, only not.
Exactly. All right. Well, you listen to the Computer America Show on the Blog Talk Radio Network, on the Boost Radio Network, and the IRN Radio Network. Charles and I are going to be doing computers, technology news. Also, coming up in the second hour, we're going to have our show reminder winner of the week. And again, our Logitech contest is in full swing right now. It is the same suite of prizes. A lot of you are already registering, but this will be the last one. Just go to our contest page at computeramerica.com. This is the last segment, and then we're going to be changing out some of the Logitech prizes. But the ones that you see there now, the webcam, HD webcam C310, valued at $50. The Logitech G400S gaming mouse, valued at $60, and the UE600 noise isolating earphones for $120. Those are all current, and they are on our current Computer America contest. All right, we're going to pause, and then we'll be back with another hour of the Computer America Show. Charles Tendell is here with me, and we're going to have another News Tip Bulletin review by Marty Winston. Stay tuned for another hour of the Computer America Show.
Broadcasting live, it's the only national radio talk show on computers to air every weeknight. Computer America, hosted by national columnist and your phone calls. We're being beamed nationwide at ComputerAmerica.com. You got computer problems? Bring them on. You're listening to Computer America. Computers run the world, and we run computers. Call us or send us an email to live@ComputerAmerica.com.
Hello and welcome into Hour 2 of the nation's longest-running, nationally syndicated radio talk show on computers. This is the Computer America Show, and I'm your host, Craig Crossman. Charles?
And I am your... What am I for today?
You're still the co-host.
Oh, Greg? Did I lose you?
No,
I'm still just for today, but okay. So for today, I'm the co-host of the Computer America Show, Charles Tendell, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Now, Charles is...
I don't know what's going on, but I think...
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. Not sure what's happening, but it's this is the last show that Charles is going to be my daily co-host. He's going to become more of a correspondent or fill-in co-host. He'll be doing shows with us, when we're doing up topics that he finds of particular interest or things on hacking, because he is, after all, a certified ethical hacker, and we'll be doing that. But starting Monday, Ben will be back with us co-hosting full time. Now, what does it say on your T-shirt? It says, "React."
Beast mode.
Beast mode. Okay.
It says beast mode. It is slowly but surely developed into one of my favorite T-shirts, and it just works. It's like beast mode. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good shirt.
I know. I said. And as I said earlier, you've been doing the show now for about 2 years with us, and having lots of fun. And I know if you go out to the Consumer Electronics Show in January, you'll be covering the event for us there as well. So if you decide to do that, if you go out there, and Charles won't be going too far away. He'll be as one of our correspondents, talking about hacking and breaking into things, and so
breaking news stories about all the wonderful hacks that have happened,
yes.
Which is something we should probably talk about as a news article. I forgot to even send that over. Albertsons got hacked today.
Albertsons,
got hacked.
The grocery store, the food market, Albertsons. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Now they're primarily in the South. I don't think I've ever seen it anywhere in the Carolinas. I think they're primarily.
They've got them up here in Colorado.
Okay. All right. And they got hacked. What happened? They people got extra beef or what?
Well, I don't know actually. I got the story from my PR guy who was like, hey, we need to get a comment in on this one. And I meant to send it over, and this is over on CNN Money, but it says Albertsons stores hacked for credit card data. Of course they were. Hackers have broken into the credit and debit card payment networks at two of the nation's most popular supermarket store chains. Albertsons, and SuperValue. I don't know who that is.
I never heard that.
Yeah, the chains announced the data breach Friday morning. The massive hack impacts their umbrella of stores as well. That includes Albertsons and all the other ones listed there, and I'm not going to have to go through all of that. The extent of the damage isn't yet clear, and the grocery chains haven't yet said how many customers might be affected. SuperValue said it knows the hackers broke into the computer network that processes card payments, but it's unsure whether they managed to take the data. If they did, hackers made off with the typical information, get it, typical information, wow, stored on a credit card's magnetic stripe, name, card number, expiration date, and a 3-digit security code. SuperValue said the virtual break-in affected credit cards swiped at 228 stores between June 22nd and July 17th, and we're just now finding about it now. Albertsons did not say how many of its 1,060 locations were affected by the hack, but it believes more than 700 were affected. That includes every Acme, Jewel Osco, and so on and so forth, plus all Albertsons stores in Southern California, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Nevada, Oregon, Washington, Wyoming, and Southern Utah. SuperValue and Albertsons shared the same technology system that was attacked. It's unclear which stores was hit first. Now, you know what's funny?
What?
We did a threat intel 2 weeks ago that we sent out to a bunch of people. In it was, I will bet you money, the piece of software that was used to make these hacks happen. Because there was just this really huge, really cool-looking POS malware that came out here recently, and it looked, and I wouldn't put it past them to have actually used that one.
Wow. Okay.
That just means you need to go over to my website and actually sign up for my threat intelligence newsletter so you don't get hacked.
You should do that. Absolutely. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely free.
Even though we're going to still have links to your website. We're going to still keep those up and everything. So
yeah,
obviously, and cross promotion is always a good thing, and we'll maintain all of that. And
yeah.
So if you want to subscribe to the Charles newsletter, you certainly can do that. Okay. Let's actually do some computer news and get started right now. Tonight's computer and technology news is brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of Computer America. You can visit them at slimwareutilities.com to clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system for free. You got his cue last time. That's right. Everything at slimwareutilities.com is completely free, and no freemium, no short term. It's all free. That will truly clean, speed up, and optimize your Windows system. The backup programs that are RecImage, download them all for free. Use them for free. Keep them in your toolkit. You'll be happy that you have them, and you'll thank us for it. slimwareutilities.com. .com. Yes. This story from Slash Gear. I can't believe this. This can't be true. No. I mean, the iPhone 6 may come with yet another new cord.
Oh dear God! If that happens, like I've already switched back over to my Android device, and I'm so far I'm liking it. So far I'm happy with my Android.
Please don't do this. I mean, they had the 30-pin connector for how long? They had it for quite long, and then they came out with the Lightning cord, which is wonderful, and the port, because it doesn't matter which way it goes, and it's great. According to this story, when the iPhone 5 was first introduced, Apple also showed off the Lightning cord and port for the first time. It was a new cord for the Apple smartphone and tablet universe, and it was another new cord that users had to purchase if they wanted more than one cord that came in the box to charge the device and transfer wired data. But they're saying it may be time to do that once again. With this change appearing for the first time in a new Apple patent files at the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, Apple has clearly made an early move. Originally filed back in January of this year, the patent covers a reversible universal serial bus plug connector comprising of a body, a dielectric base, a shell extending from the body, and having an opening at a first end that communicates with a cavity defined by 4 inner surfaces of the shell and the dielectric base.
What?
Yeah, it can be plugged in either way. That is to say, the smaller end of the lightning cord for the iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, iPad mini, and iPad Air all have the ability to plug in one way or the other. I love that about that. This allows the larger end of the cord to transform while the small end stays the same. On the other hand, this could very well be Apple's adoption of the standardized USB Type-C in a sort of backwards way. He says, we'll have to wait and see if they all work with sliding slides, immovable sides, or none at all. Okay. Of course, you'll have to remember that an Apple patent does not necessarily mean an Apple implementation. Apple might never bring this kind of cord to market. It may just stick with the original Lightning cord for generations well into the future. And I certainly hope it does, because, I mean, it has so much of the future built into the Lightning cord. And again, I love the fact that it goes either way. You know, and you have everything. You got this whole third-party, world of people making products that support the iPhone and the iPad with the Lightning connector now. Don't do another mid-change and make them all have to redo all of that. It was terrible. You know, I don't see that happening. Do you?
They better not.
Yeah.
They better not. I mean, with USB 3 or not 3, USB 4 or whatever it is. Like right on the verge where it's going to be universal, I think that's more applicable to what's going on. I think the USB 3, the new USB standard is actually the Lightning style connector, and they're just going to make a slight modification so that now it is that new USB connector, or it's widely adopted, or Apple's just positioning themselves to hold on to the fact that they're the USB kings. So they better not come out with another adapter, because they just literally all the way up to what the iPhone 5, right? So what, 5-6 years of iPhones? Is that what it was?
Well, there was 30-pin connector. They had that, which I never really liked. It was too bulky. It was like old-fashioned. It didn't always fit properly. You had to be very careful with it. In case you bend one of the pins. You don't have that with the Lightning connector. It's solid.
Exactly.
It's perfect. It's just the way it is. It's small. I would think Apple would have built enough of the future into this not to make another change. Change the connector. Yeah, that's going to be a bad move, and I'm just hoping that this is wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Your turn.
You would do that while I was typing something. Oh, yes, this is one that I was interested in. So last night we talked about President Obama basically vetoing the net neutrality thing. So here from TheVerge.com, FCC pushes back deadline for people to weigh in on net neutrality rules. Newsflash, FCC, nobody wants this. Okay, nobody wants Comcast to be able to buy their way faster onto my machine and for you to stamp out small media outlets that rely on the internet. Just say nobody wants to do it. But the article itself says the U.S. Federal Communications Commission is giving people nearly a week more to weigh in Chairman Tom Wheeler's proposal for new net neutrality framework.
Yeah.
Today, the FCC said people have until September 15th, a month from now, to reply to comments made by others as part of an earlier phase that wrapped up July 18th. The previous deadline, September 10th, would have given people a month. However, the FCC's website was slammed in the beginning of the process and unable to handle the influx of traffic, causing the original public comment deadline to get pushed back.
Okay.
A set of rules proposed by the FCC back in May will either ban or permit paid prioritization of internet traffic. As part of the process, the FCC opened it up to public debate, resulting in 1.1 million comments, some of which include death threats and profanity. Critics are concerned that the so-called fast lanes could hurt consumers and innovation, while some of the companies pushing for those fast lanes say certain online activities could benefit from prioritization. Which of those options the FCC goes with depends on the final vote expected later this year. Newsflash.
Yes.
And Craig, you remember? I mean, I forced you to participate in this effort and do all this other stuff because what it means for people like us, it means like people won't be able to get priority streaming for things like Computer America. They won't be able to get priority streaming for the video portion. They won't be able to get priority streaming for anything. You know, they're going to be, if they're not streaming content that's made by one of the big companies that have the money to pay this, it's not going to go anywhere. It's actually going to get stopped or slow. I mean, you yourself, imagine if just because it's the Computer America show, the priority was given to Netflix, it was given to Comcast streaming, it was given to Verizon, and we got 1 meg. How would that affect us? That would.
You couldn't do the show. You couldn't do the
exactly.
show.
We see Craig turn bright red, and then all of a sudden he's picking up that phone, and it's, "Do you know who I am?" Every other conversation, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, if people pay attention, if you're not looking at the net neutrality thing, go over to the FCC.gov, find the comment for this one, comment on it, make your voices known, make sure that we let the Fed know. I mean, even the president, and way to go, President Obama, is saying, you know, this is a bad idea. It's going to stifle innovation. The small companies that can't afford to pay to play are going to get, you know, outed, and the corporations are going to take over. You know, way to go. I applaud him for this. Let's put an end to this, or come up with something that actually works. Like, oh, I don't know, forcing the ISPs to actually pump the same level internet across the board for one fixed price instead of being like, oh, I'm going to charge you for this speed and cap you out, because it doesn't cost them anything. It doesn't cost them anything. They're not leasing the lines anymore. They own it all. If I would be, you know, like that's why like they're lobbying to keep Google out of places, because Google is moving to places and giving like 5 to 10 megs free. They're just like, oh, we're moving into your area. Here's some free internet.
Yeah.
Right? Now, mind you, everything you're doing is going to run through Google, but that's fine. Nobody cares. Use a VPN. Go to ProXPN. Get a VPN. Don't worry about whether Google's snooping on you, know? But the bottom line is Google knows we can afford to give everyone high-speed internet. And they're lobbying, these companies, these ISPs are lobbying to prevent them from showing up in these areas. And when they do that, they're doing it specifically so that, you know, hey, we want to continue to hold on to our dollar. We want to continue offering a substandard product. Keep Google out of the area, and they're trying hard. You know, they're on the tail end of a losing battle, and the only way they're going to be completely stamped out is if people like the listeners, people on the internet, people who are going to watch this later, go and make your voice heard. Kill this crap about the fast lane, the internet fast lanes and ISPs, and do it. Just kill it. Just make it go away, and let's do something good. Like, and then go to your local Comcast or whoever and be like, hey, we want Google Fiber. Send an email to Google and tell Google to bring it into your neighborhood. Get free internet. You know, there's no reason to keep paying ridiculous prices for things that should be free otherwise, or close to it, or really cheap.
Wait, now that means you are against high HOV lanes on the highway. You know,
That's completely different.
I know.
That's completely different. I mean, like I use HOV lanes all the time, but there's usually like 5 people in my car when I do it.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm completely against the other idiot who's like me and a mannequin, right? That guy should get pulled over and get tickets, right? But
people have tried that.
I mean, yeah, in a physical environment where you've got all these people, you know, I mean, so you're saying I should pay the toll to take the faster route instead of you just making the system work more efficiently.
That's right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, here, they just instituted this lane lock thing, the tech center here in Denver. It's not an HOV lane, but it's double white lines. Okay, and you're not allowed to leave this lane, right? That opened up congestion so much. It was just like, wow, that's amazing, you know. And it's not an HOV. You don't have to pay to play to be in it. You just have to make a conscious decision of understanding your traffic and where you're going. If you're going straight through and you're not exiting, don't be in the right lane. You don't need to be there, right?
That's it.
The whole idea behind net neutrality is retarded. It's I have more money than you, therefore my show takes priority.
Yeah. No. Hopefully that won't happen.
It won't, because Craig's going to get behind it. I'm behind it.
I'm behind it now.
Everybody is.
Yes,
Everybody's behind it. Let's not let ISPs do this.
Okay, you got it. And we'll make sure. Okay. Charged up with that story.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a hot button item. I mean,
Yeah, it is. Well, here's another hot button item for you. I mean, most cell phones have a tiny, they have what they call an accelerometer or a motion sensor.
uh-huh.
Well, according to NBC News, your cell phone's motion sensor could be eavesdropping on you. What? Yeah. Researchers have just found yet another reason to be paranoid. Even if hackers or the NSA are locked out of your cell phone's microphone, camera, and data, they might still be able to snoop on you through the tiny chip that tracks the device's orientation. Gyroscopes in modern phones, unlike the spinning gyroscopes of old. I had one of those little spinning gyroscopes when I was a kid.
They were fun. They would stand up.
Yeah. They work by a method that also allows it to detect vibrations in the air at certain frequencies, including some that overlap with the human voice. And worse still, Android apps don't have to alert the user that they're accessing the gyro, meaning practically any game or website could be listening in on you. Neither do iPhone apps, but the technique doesn't work as well on iOS. Okay? Well, there you go. Fortunately, the vulnerability described by researchers at Stanford and Israeli defense firm Rafael appears to be largely theoretical, and it has some serious limitations even if someone were to pull it off. The gyro can only detect the lowest frequencies of the human voice, so you'd have to talk like this. Are you listening to me now, NSA? Enough, perhaps, because if I talk like this, then you can't hear what I'm saying. Enough.
Or if you talk like this, it works just as well.
Enough, perhaps, to discern between two voices or clearly spoken words, but not understand conversations. Still, it's possible in principle, and hopefully Google will do something about it soon. Why Google?
Because Google is the man.
Yeah. Well, is this the first you're hearing about this too?
No, I mean, we actually put out an article some time ago about how you can use sounds and vibrations and things to actually generate audible tones. Like you can use a hard drive, and based on the way it spins and the way something happens, you can listen to the kind of character that it was actually produced. So it's basically the same kind of technology. It's feeling your vibration, and the vibration is you can intercept sound over it. I mean, it's pretty cool.
I'm giving
scary, but pretty cool.
She's giving me vibrations. Vibrations.
She's giving me good vibrations.
Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, so
this one's going to be playing in my head the rest of the night.
Okay. Okay. So it's your turn to do a story.
Okay. LATimes.com. In a first, cable companies' broadband subscription surpasses TV subscriptions. Right?
Really?
Yep. For the first time ever, cable companies have more internet broadband subscribers than TV service subscribers, a new report says. At the end of the second quarter of 2014, the top cable providers, Comcast, served 49,915,000 broadband subscribers compared to 49,910,000 TV subscribers, according to the report by Lynchman Research Group.
I'm confused. They're saying the cable providers.
Your Comcast, your Cox, your all those other people.
They're surpassing.
They're now providing more internet than they are cable television. What this means is you're getting less television. You're getting less regular television with your commercials, advertising, and all that other stuff.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I mean, I have Charter, and I don't have Charter. It's a cable company, but I don't subscribe to their cable service.
Right. There's no need to, right?
I just subscribe to I have DirecTV. I subscribe to their internet service because I get 100 megabits per second. Which
exactly.
So that makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Although they're trying to get me to they're trying to get more and more features. I mean It's 6 and 1/2 dozen other.
This is why net neutrality is a thing, right? This is why these companies are seeing that they're losing revenue to their about their television now. Nobody's watching television the way that they used to. It's dying. You know, it's not dead, but like we haven't had like cable television in our home for years. And the only reason we have cable television and the internet, which in the office, is to get like the sports channels for the salon. But even still, even and the Disney Channel, as D chimes in, but it's we don't watch it. Like we have it in the office. We spend more time watching, you know, Chromecast and Netflix and things like that than anything else.
Now we got a caller. I don't know where they're calling from, so I'm gonna take the call and see if they have a caller. So, Computer America, Craig Crossman. Hey, caller, how can we help you?
Hi, how's it going? My name is Patricia. I'm calling from Massachusetts.
Hi, how are you? What's up?
Hey, good. You know, I just checked out this show, and there actually is some issues with my computer. I have a HP. It's of course a Hewlett Packard. Jesus!
What is that? It's serious? What? I don't know. He started cooking. We lost that connection. Anyway. Anyhow, I use DirecTV, and I still watch. I watch the HBOs and all the different stations, channels. I still watch them, and I watch the local TV stations. Granted, I probably can get a lot of it now over the internet, but I haven't quite weaned myself off of it yet. I still like the DirecTV. I like to watch the shows, and I pay about $135 a month for everything on DirecTV that we get, and it has the whole home feature, so and you can record, and it's got all those great things. I still don't see myself using that yet, to the internet. Maybe another year or two, it'll get to the point where I might switch over. But right now, I still have DirecTV.
What for? I mean, what you're getting your favorite shows in a particular schedule and all sorts of stuff, right? So I mean, but you can get those shows. Direct from the provider, like the next day. So
the next day. Yeah, you're right. But I like to watch them the day of the show.
Why? Because you like the commercials.
Yes. No, I don't like the commercials because I can skip over those. I have the the.
So wait, you're recording them anyway, so you're still already not watching them live.
Well, no, yeah, well, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying you're wrong, Charles. I'm just saying, I'm a little slower to come around with it.
Well, I mean, like, you're already technically doing it. You're DVRing the things that you want to see.
That's very true. Yes.
Now, content available to you when you want it, not on the provider's schedule anymore.
But the ones that I still can't are the like the USA channel, the Sci-Fi channel. I mean, there are a lot of shows that I do watch, on USA especially, and I watch Suits and Rush, and there are a number of ones that I do still watch, and I like to see them when they're live. So
yeah. Well, I mean, but so let's finish up with the article, and then we can move on it. But it says it's only a slight difference of 5,000 subscribers, and many TV subscribers also pay for internet service. But the milestone exemplifies the way business is changing for cable companies, said Bruce Leishman, president and principal of the analyst research firm that did this report. Because of competition from satellite TV providers and telephone companies, they've lost subscribers over the past several years. He continues stressing that consumers are not cutting the cord, but simply getting their TV from other kinds of companies.
Yeah.
Right? With broadband service companies are really only in competition with telephone companies, and they're doing pretty well in that competition, he said, pointing out that cable companies added 380,000 broadband subscribers in the second quarter compared to only 2,000 by telephone companies.
Well, one of the reasons that is because telephone companies only offer DSL, and DSL, the fastest DSL out there is 6 megabits per second, and that's maxing out. Usually, that's the top tier of DSL.
Right.
Cable services, communications, internet is so much faster and competitively priced. So I think that's a matter of technology. Phone companies can't offer the kind of speed that you can with cable modems. At least for now, if you're using DSL.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, it's still one of those things where the technology has evolved to the point where it doesn't matter anymore. You know, we need to get out from it. It's time to grow. Like for example, like Colorado. Okay, Colorado evolved into recreational marijuana after going through the phase of, I'm sorry, if you lived in Boulder in the last decade, Boulder, Colorado, it was already legal there. Okay, it was pretty much already legal. Nobody cared. The cops didn't bother you. It didn't matter. And it just kind of spread throughout the state. So eventually, as people's perceptions have changed, as the technology has changed, as things have evolved, it became fully legal, and it's now recreational here in Colorado, and other states have followed suit. It's the same in the technology world. As we get progressively closer to it's more effective to get your shows online. It's better to do this. It's time to just evolve into, I don't use a regular phone anymore. Like we only have a home phone for fax.
Yeah.
Everybody else uses a cell phone.
Well, there you go. Hey, listen, we're going to take a break, and then just for a few moments, and then we'll be back. We've got a news tips bulletin review by Marty Winston coming up, and then we'll continue our news and technology broadcast brought to you by Slimware Utilities. Stay with us. We're not going anywhere.
Maybe.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 120,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy and major car companies filing for bankruptcy, Cover America Auto Care has announced revolutionary thousands on auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for drivers to call who own a vehicle that is less than 10 years old for a free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number is 800-483-2514. Drivers who are covered with this auto protection will not have to pay for a covered repair again. This is the auto coverage now sweeping across America at a fraction of what dealerships charge and is now available to the public by calling today. The number to call is 800-483-2514. 800-483-2514. That's 800-483-2514.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-866-663-MyTV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for 663-MyTV. Right now, to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-866-663-MyTV. 1-866-663-MyTV.
Hi, this is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America. This time it's the Baco Nightstick rechargeable flashlight, model NSR 9746. Do you remember Captain Kangaroo? Well, not even Captain Kangaroo could fit a 13-inch long Baco Nightstick NSR 9746 rechargeable flashlight into his pocket. But this brute of a metal-cased light is designed for ready access with a slip-in charger dock that an AC wall wart or a car's 12-volt accessory plug can power. Holding in its power switch cycles it through its 3 modes. There's a high mode, 420 lumens, good for 275 minutes per charge. A medium mode, 225 lumens, good for 10 hours. And a low mode, 45 lumens, good for 63 hours. It also has a 400 lumen strobe mode, good for 8 hours. And you activate that just by double-clicking. Bottom line, the Baco Nightstick NSR 9746 rechargeable flashlight offers a lot of light, a lot of runtime, and a lot of heft with a stay-ready charger dock so you know where to find it. This is Marty Winston with a News Tips Bulletin Review for Computer America.
Oh, thank you for that, Marty. I can just picture this thing being like a lightsaber of a flashlight. Like it doubles as a billy club if you happen to be that flashlight cop. You just want to beat people with it. Anyway, welcome back to the Computer America show. We are 33 minutes after the hour on the second hour. Craig and I are doing computer and technology news brought to you by Slimware Utilities, the official optimization software of the Computer America show. Check them out over on slimwareutilities.com to learn out how you can clean, speed up, and optimize your computer for
free.
Free.
Hey, we got another caller. I don't know if it's the same guy because it's a Skype caller. Should I take it?
Take it. I dare you.
Okay, we'll try it.
It's my last night. It makes for good.
Computer America, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes. How's it going? I was trying to call earlier.
Yes.
And what happened was I'm really sorry, but like the whole thing just kind of went awry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's okay.
Jesus.
There it is.
His computer keeps breaking. I don't know what's wrong with that guy's machine.
I don't know what that
He
is.
should definitely get that fixed. And if he's got that HP like he claims he has, and it's running Windows 8, you got a virus, man.
Okay.
Jesus.
All right. So anyway, again, we were just kind of discussing why I still have DirecTV, and then I like using. I mean, I still, I'm slower to change. I think I represent, the typical people are resistant to change, and I like the fact that I can get all the stations that I want. But of course, DirecTV, I get too much stuff. There's so much stuff that I just don't want. They haven't done it a la carte. When you get all the sports channels, you get all these things which I never watch ever. So
that's been the problem with cable providers for forever, though.
Yeah, cable and satellite. That is the problem. And again, in order for me to get the shows that I want, I either have to watch them in delay or a couple of days later. And I still like the availability. Now, as I said, maybe it'll change. Maybe I'm sure things are going to change, and we'll just have to. I'll have to wait and see. So far I'm not giving up my DirecTV yet. Okay.
I mean, honestly, I think of it like this. I have no need to watch shows that are on television. If I hear about them and they're good, they're going to end up on Netflix eventually. I can get them on Amazon Prime. I can find other means to find them. And I don't honestly enjoy like when we had like full package cable. We used to have cable television in the house, right? I only watched like 3 channels. It was like the Mystery Channel, the Science Channel, the Speed Channel, and the Velocity Channel. And the Military Channel. And I was paying, well, at this point I wasn't really paying much, but, it's horrible. I mean, why am I paying for $100 for all these channels that I never watch?
That's right.
Give me 50 cents back for a channel that I don't watch.
That's right. That would be wonderful, but they're not doing it yet. I think they're eventually going to be forced to. But I pay about $130 a month for. Now that includes the DVR boxes that I have in my home. I have like 3 DVR boxes, different rooms, and then I have a couple of other HD satellite boxes.
But see, that's the other thing. Are you paying for those boxes? You're like getting an extra fee for those boxes?
Yeah, unless you own them outright, and you can't really do that anymore. I have a couple. I still have like 2 boxes that I own, so I don't pay the monthly fee for those. But they're fast becoming obsolete, and so So basically, I'm renting the equipment on a monthly basis, and so it's a combination of the rental of the equipment and then the TVs in the home. Because right now we have a number of TVs in the home. We've got what do we have? We've got my office, got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we have 6 TVs in the house, 7 TVs in the house. So there it is.
Now, how many do you actually watch?
I watch 2. Okay, my wife and I each watch 2. She has one in her office and in the bedroom, and I watch one in the den in the bedroom. So that's it. And then once in a while we'll go down to the game room and we'll watch the TV down there too.
But do you actually like watch new TV shows, or is it all your DVR stuff?
I watch the new TV shows. I mean, I have several of the TV shows that I watch that I enjoy. A lot of them are on the USA Network. And the Sci-Fi Channel, I watch those, but
you're a big sci-fi fan?
Yeah, huge. I love, but only good sci-fi. I don't like watching the
There's a really great movie, great movie that you should totally watch. Jordan absolutely loves it, and she watches it religiously. It's a movie called Sharknado.
No, I'm not gonna watch. I'll tell you what short. So I watched True Blood on HBO, which is in its final season. I watched Falling Skies. That's on the Turner TBS. The Leftovers. I'm Under the Dome. I'm watching that list. Those Royal Pains. I love Suits.
Breaking Bad.
Person of Interest. I really enjoy Hawaii Five-0, Resurrection, and Grimm, and also The Mentalist. So those are the ones that I basically watch. And you can get all of those shows. I think after the show's air, you can watch it. So technically, I could cut it off. I could cut off the satellite. I could technically.
You sound like an addict. I could stop at any time if I really wanted to.
Nah. I still enjoy watching it. I guess it's because I have to do so much more to get it. I mean, if I wanted to get it on my Chromecast and then beam it over to the TV, and I could do all that, but it's a lot of effort. When with the DirecTV, I just turn it on and there it is. Yeah. There's still when they can get it to, I can just turn it on and there it is. Then I'll probably switch over.
Mm-hmm.
So, any more to this article that you read, or that's basically it?
No, that's it. That's pretty much it.
All right. Well, then, good.
The cable companies are winning. The ISPs are upset. That's all.
All right. Well, this story here: Robot Romeo charms women on OkCupid. The next time, according to the story, that cute guy or girl messages you back on OkCupid, beware. It could be a robot, right?
Droid.
Yeah. You think it's what you said was droid? Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
This guy is cute. Droid.
All right, this fellow who was 28 had trouble dealing with the volume of messages he received when he moved to New York from Boston 4 months ago. The problem? In a crowded city with so many options, daters didn't seem too invested in any one conversation. It just seemed like people were just talking, but there was no real communication going on, he told NBC News. So he set up a fake profile and used a Cleverbot, an artificial intelligence program, to formulate responses to women who messaged us. Okay. Then they give you some examples of how the conversation went. It says, like, hey, how's it going? Good. You? Pretty good. It's a nice time. It's a nice day, and it's Friday. Yes, it is. So anyway, some conversations will go on for days, Hunt said, prompting him to show them off in a Tumblr called Girls Who Date Computers. After this experience, he might go back to doing things the old-fashioned way. As far as dating goes, he said, I feel like pursuing interests and meeting people with those interests along the way seems like the best bet. So there you go. So
I want to know more about his little bot, though, because I think this is funny.
Yeah. Well, don't you remember what was the name of that program? It played the role of an analyst, and then you could say, it would ask you how things are, and you would talk with it. It was just an artificial intelligence program written years ago, but evidently he got some people to respond to it.
Huh.
Okay.
I mean, women respond to some of the most interesting things. Like, I've got a battle buddy who's very into Star Trek, and you'd be surprised at the things women say to him on the interwebs. It just reaffirms if the internet were a real place, would you really want to go there?
Yeah.
Like, just imagine. Just imagine what one corner of the internet, like the corner of of Netflix and adult website or NSFW, not safe for work websites, that would be the corner that you would be standing on. Just imagine what that would look like after the sun went down.
Mm.
You know, it'd just be a bad place. Speaking of fun bad places, but what were you gonna say?
No, I was going to do another story because that was a short.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Evidence according to Business Insider, big fixes are coming to Windows as soon as next month. A preview of Microsoft's next major operating system update, Windows 9, may come as early as next month, according to ZDNet. Citing several sources, she says a technology preview will be available at the end of September or early October of Windows 9. Previous rumors have suggested a release preview of Windows 9 will come in mid-2015, so they stepped it up. A release preview is exactly what it sounds like, a near-final version of the software that's released for the public to play with before the final product officially launches to the public. Again, we're talking Windows 9 here. Okay. Now, this woman is highly reliable when it comes to reporting on Microsoft news. She's been covering technology for 30 years and routinely makes correct predictions about its product cycle. Windows 9 is expected to introduce some radical changes to the Windows ecosystem. Microsoft is aiming to fix some of the usability issues in Windows 8 by introducing a mini start menu, eliminating the charms bar, and enabling Metro-style apps to run in Windows on the desktop. These are all things that Mike Miller wanted to do. In short, whereas Windows 8 was primarily designed for touchscreen tablets and laptops, Windows 9 will take a step back and have a more traditional desktop OS look and feel. Hear, hear. Microsoft's new virtual assistant Cortana is also rumored to be available for the desktop version of Windows with the software's release. That's cool. We can expect to learn more about Windows 9 next month. So having Cortana on the desktop will be kind of slick, wouldn't you think? Yeah.
I think that would get kind of freaky, actually.
Okay.
Like, just think about the guys out there who are already like, "Oh, Cortana, you're so great." Evil things. Now we'll really have a dating bot on our hands, man.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Well, all right.
So Dee and I were actually talking about this earlier today, and it's interesting.
Mhm.
So I hate flying commercial, and over the 2 years that I've been on the show, you have shared in the joy that is Charles's travel experience.
Yes, it's true.
All right, so I hate flying commercial airlines. I absolutely hate it. And we had just started looking at these services like Uber for the sky.
Yeah.
Right, where you could just tag along on someone who happens to be going your direction and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, check this out. TechCrunch.com, FAA bans plane sharing startups.
Oh.
Right? There will be no Zim ride for airplanes, according to an FAA ruling released today that prohibits private pilots from publicly offering seats on their planes in exchange for gas money, including via startups like AirPooler and FlightNow. The decision strikes a blow to the sharing economy and comes in response to AirPooler formally requesting a clarification of the gray area it was operating in. Banning this form of plane sharing, like ride sharing for aircraft, could keep people safe by preventing them from hopping in with a rookie pilot. However, it will also make it more expensive for pilots to fly since they can't share costs, reduce travel options for passengers, and kill off an entire category of startups. AirPooler plans to ask for a clarification of the ruling, as it's based on an unofficial draft of the 1963 proposal for plane sharing, rather than the 1964 regulation. Oh dear God! Update. That said, pilots can privately ask if passengers want to join them and split the cost if pilots pay their pro rata share. We're already planning the flight and met some other restrictions. For example, I'm already headed to Vegas. Who wants to get in on this? It'll be a 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
It's a couple $100 to get in on this. You bet your butt I'm on that plane.
Okay.
much better than flying, that airline that shall not be named.
Okay.
Until now, the practice was often organized through word of mouth or bulletin boards at airfields, but that will now be illegal. The new FAA ruling deems that any kind of cost sharing as compensation for private pilots, whether they use old school means or a website to list their seats, is currently illegal to compensate. It is currently illegal to compensate private pilots unless they get a
tough to attain
certificate from the government to operate as an air carrier. Many private pilots lack this license, so listing open seats on sites like AirPooler and FlyNow or via low-tech methods for flights they plan to take won't be permitted. This is horrible. The core part of the ruling for the FAA states, we conclude that with regard to pilots using AirPooler website, all four elements of common carriage are present. Elements of common carriage are present. By posting specific flights to the AirPooler website, a pilot participating in the AirPooler service would be holding out to transport persons or property from place to place or compensation or hire. I don't know what that line means, so somebody else interpret that.
Oh.
Although the pilots participating in AirPooler website have chosen the destination, they are holding out to the public to transport passengers for compensation in the form of reduction of the operating expenses they would have had to pay for the flight themselves.
Mm-hmm.
AirPooler CEO writes to respond, while the FAA's decision is confusing, it's also stalling opportunity for private enterprise and government to work together to foster innovation in the sharing economy. It's a big disappointment for hundreds of thousands of pilots and for everyday travelers. Pilots who have always loved to ride share but found it difficult to arrange were looking forward to taking advantage of modern sharing technologies to offer seats as a way of defraying costs.
I don't see a downside. I think this is a great idea. What is the big? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Now, what they're saying the reason is that they shot this down is, oh my God, what if you get in the air with an unexperienced pilot and you end up dead? Right? Yeah, thank you. What they're really saying is, actually, no, the large airlines are going to get pissed off and see the opportunity for private pilots to give more customized, comfortable, easier, cheaper flights to individuals that are going to take money out of our conglomerate. So they're pissed off about that, and they got the FCC to slap it down. But just reading this article, I've got a loophole for you.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
Says, the law says, if I read it correctly, that pilots are prohibited from putting it out there that they're going to XYZ location, and they want a passenger to come and help share the costs, right?
Yeah.
But what if XYZ passenger goes on a message board and says, hey, I'm going to XYZ place, anybody got a seat available?
Yeah.
And now you get pilots who are saying, oh, I fly this kind of aircraft, this is when I'm leaving, are you interested in coming?
Yeah, I mean, the internet is perfect for this type of thing. I mean, it's just an extension of what so many other services that were just not practical or available or accessible to the whole world. And now all of a sudden you have you have the internet. Why not apply it to pilots? But obviously you're stepping on some old laws, and some I don't know. It just it seems to me that
the bottom line is they're trying to keep other people from taking money out of their pockets, and it's a truth. I mean, have you ever watched the show Continuum?
Yes, I have watched that show.
Go back and watch the very first episode, the first 30 seconds of the first episode, and tell me if it's not shocking the similarities between that future and what we're doing right now. Corporations run everything. If you want a ban on oil in one part of the country, you just get the corporations to fund it. The corporations just find lobbyists and they fund that legislation. They have people that go and buy the votes for it, essentially. If you want to kill your competition, you just get an entity to kill somebody else's idea. I mean, this is a great idea.
It is a great idea.
Flightshare.com. You go, you post that you're headed on a trip.
Well, they're not giving up, right? I mean, they're gonna fight it.
No, they're not. They're trying. They're trying to get to get confirmation and all this other stuff. Ooh, it does work.
What does work?
Flightshare.com is actually there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right.
Oh, check it out. So I'm guessing this is sort of illegal now.
Mm-hmm.
That we've got a website where there are different pilots who have posted up that they're leaving from this place to this place. They've got seats available. Yeah, this website is completely illegal now.
Illegal.
It's completely illegal now.
Hmm.
Let's see. For passengers, you become a member. You connect with a pilot or pilots by searching for the flight.
Right.
You select a flight by email. You can have the flight share alert you via email. Click contact pilot. Pilot will contact you. It's customary for passengers to equally split the cost of the flight with the pilot. Under FAA regulations, the pilot can only accept pro rata share of the cost of the flight. To learn more, visit the rules. But now the FAA has made sites like FlightShare.com completely illegal.
So
but I'm looking at the planes they've got on here, and I'm like, man, I should have found that before this ruling came out.
Yeah, you could have gone to Vegas. And,
yeah.
Who knew?
Not phone the airline that shall not be named. in their defense, though, they did actually provide me with close to $500 in vouchers.
Yes, that's true. So you can.
I mean, after I contacted the CEO directly.
Well, maybe you can go. So maybe it'll pay for most of your trip out to CES this year.
It might actually. We were actually thinking about using it for our trip to Costa Rica.
Ah, yeah, but see, no technology there. You want to do the CES?
That's kind of the point. That's kind of the point. There's no technology there. That's kind of the point.
That's the point. Okay. Well, all right. Well, I think it's I think that it's well, you know, it's red tape. What are you gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah.
Do we have time to do one more story?
We should. We have 5 minutes left.
Yeah, we got 5 minutes left. Well, you know, I think that we should spend the last 5 minutes talking about you know, what your plans are and everything. I know. Just let's talk a little bit more. You know, you're going to be you still will be I still haven't found a proper label for you. You're going to be a co-host at large.
I like that. Co-host at large, co-host light. I'm still going to be around. I'm still going to co-host some of the shows that need, you know, the hacker's perspective on it, and the ones that I find interesting.
Yes.
And you know, that'll be through careful coordination and everything else. You know, I'll still come back when we have like major breaches. I mean, think about this though. You've got the guy that all the other media outlets want for comments on, you know, the IRS email getting stolen, the Wall Street Journal, and the Black Shades thing. You know, you know, cars getting hacked. I will still come up and be like, oh no, Computer America gets the exclusive. They get the first break on a lot of the cool stuff, or they definitely get a comment on it. You know, and you know, I'm definitely going to come back and like harass like, you know, Gene and and you know, and Larry and everybody else. So I'm not gone. You know, you guys can still get a hold of me at, you know, my Computer America email address. You can still find me. Craig's still going to call me and be like, how do I do this? So I'm going to have to tell him how to do that.
That's right. Exactly. You know, exactly.
And I'm still going to pop in from time to time to make fun of Ben, and he's got a lot of dirt on his face. What's up with that?
Yeah, it's a beard.
He's trying. Well, actually, if you look at the video, I let mine grow out for Black Hat and DEF CON.
That's right.
And Dee hasn't yelled at me yet to shave it, so let's see how long it takes for her to be like, you must shave.
You know, I just don't look at facial hair. I like to have a clean shave, you know. So.
Yeah, I mean, I usually do too. It's not necessarily about facial hair. It's more about.
Is that a selfie you're doing now?
No, it's oddly enough, and Dee will probably not like this picture, but you know how they always say that people look like their pets?
Yes, I've constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People look like their pets, and it's cute when the Puggle and Dee are like sleeping, because you get to see cute things like here. Let me see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it here. It's
no, you can't really see it.
You can't. Wait. Let me make sure I'm connected to the right one. Oh no, this isn't working.
No, you can't see it. No, you can't see it.
There.
It's too dark.
Yeah, it's too dark. But they both sleep the same way. Her and her Puggle. So they're adorable together.
I try to take pictures of Cynthia sleeping sometime with the dog, but she gets mad at me. So
Yeah. Judo chop.
Well, listen, Charles. Again, I just wanted to say officially again, it's been a real honor to have you as a co-host of the show, and I'm so glad that you will continue to stay in touch with us and join us with shows of interest. And certainly look forward to that, and maybe having you do CES with us again for 2015.
If possible. I mean, we've already got our registration and everything. It's just we haven't booked any sort of travel stuff because
90 seconds.
Well, the weekend is upon us, and we didn't do the show reminder of the winner of the week, so let's do it. It's Christine Sorensen. Christine Sorensen, congratulations, you're this week's show reminder winner, and we'll get that prize out to you right away, so congratulations for being our show reminder winner of the week. And that about wraps up the Computer America show. On Monday, in the first hour, we're going to have Gadget Girl.
Gadget Girl?
Yeah, Gadget Girl. She finds all kinds of great gadgets and devices, and it's going to be kind of cool. And then we're going to have Chegg on the show. Basically, it's a service that allows you to rent textbooks without having to buy them, and save a lot of money that way. So that's coming up in both hours of the Computer America show. Again, thanks to Charles Tendell for being my co-host for all these years, and again, he's not going anywhere. He'll still be around. And in the meantime, go out and have a great weekend, and catch a movie, do something fun, and then we'll see you on Monday night with Ben. So until Monday night, this is Craig Crossman, hoping that your hard disk never becomes floppy.
Or your head moves like this.
We'll see you Monday night.
10 seconds.
Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
Okay, and we're over there. We're still on our behind-the-scenes show. Thanks again to everybody. I'm just saying, see you Monday, everyone, in the chat room. All right, and we're out of the chat room, and we're going to say goodnight to everybody on our Hangouts one more time.
Good night, everybody.
All right, say bye.